At the parade, Yunmo never expected
to
become this complicated.
Liu Yan
acted calm, saying the ceremony was
to
about,
begin, but
Yunmo noticed Wei Xiaomusheng
looked at her.
had suddenly changed. He did not
think too
much about it because
the cannons
fired square filled with marching steps and rows of soldiers walked past with powerful discipline. Yunmo was
completely drawn
into the scene until
one
familiar figure appeared at the front of the formation. It was Mikai. She had come to the capital, and she was
taking
even
part
in the parade. Yunmo froze. Musheng called his name and asked if he was listening. Yunmo came back to himself and followed him to buy water, but Liu Ruyan had also seen everything. From Yunmo's expression, she realized this sister-brother
was
relationship simple. After
the
parade, the three returned to school. Just when Yunmo thought the day was over, Xiao Musheng suddenly announced that he wanted to pursue Liu Ruyan and even asked Yunmo to help him write a love poem before Yunmo could recover from that shock. Someone came to the door and said that visitor was waiting for him at the school gate. Yunmo immediately guessed who it might be. The person waiting outside was indeed Yunmo in a clean white shirt full of energy, made her tighten. The little boy who used to follow behind her in Fanyang village was gone. Now
looked
he
like someone
who could leave her behind forever. She asked to talk, and Yunmo brought her to a quiet park near campus. Kai sat there silently, everything that had happened after Yunmo hung up on her during military training at Southwest University. Fang Yuan kept hovering around her, acting as if he were already her husband. For the first time, Mikai felt uncomfortable with that engagement. Told Fang Yuan she wanted to reconsider the marriage. Fang Yuan instantly guessed it was because of Yunmo. He mocked her, saying Yunmo was her younger brother and they could never be together. Then he admitted that he had exposed Yunmo's confession and made Yunmo believe Mikai had betrayed him. Only then did Mikai understand why Yunmo apologized. After confessing, then suddenly chose Qingbei and pulled away from her. She realized she had misunderstood him and hurt him deeply. When she learned she would go to the capital for the parade, she was so excited she could barely sleep because this was her chance to see him again. Back in the park, Yunmo did not want to waste time in silence. He asked Mikai directly what she wanted to say. Kai finally confessed that she now understood her own heart and that she also liked him. But before she could finish, Yunmo stood up with disbelief, a trace of mockery in his eyes. Mikai insisted she was sincere, but Yunmo cut her off. He told her it was too late. He had already let go, and from now on she would only be his sister. He reminded her that she was supposed to marry Fang Yuan at the end of the year. Mikai said she had already explained everything and would tell their parents too, but Yunmo only felt colder when he loved her. She rejected him without mercy and went on a blind date in front of him. Now that he had left, she
suddenly decided
she wanted him back. To Yunmo, it felt like she only cared about her own feelings. He told her again that he had no romantic feelings left, then turned to leave. Kai grabbed him and said he was only angry, promising to compensate him after everything from the previous life. No longer
Yunmo
wanted to
argue.
At the school gate, another hand suddenly grabbed him. It was Fang Yuan, and before Yunmo could react, Fang Yuan punched him in the face. Fang Yuan shouted loudly on purpose, accusing Yunmo of seducing another man's
Teacher stopped
students
to
and watch.
Yunmo's
Yunmo's pale
face.
as the old feeling of
Suffocating.
being framed rose again.
He warned
Fang Yuan not to spread rumors,
Fang
but
Yuan only
shouted louder to
pretending
be the victim. Mi
rushed
Kai
over and
stood in front of Yunmo, finally realizing how blind
she had been
to Fang Yuan's character,
but Yunmo
refused to leave because
would
walking
make
away.
the accusation look
Just then,
true.
Liu Ruyan, calm and sharp, she told
Fang Yuan
to look clearly.
was
Yunmo,
me.
Kai's younger brother, not imaginary rival. Then
She
greeted Mi Kai, saw the swelling on
Yunmo's face
and immediately became angry,
She leaned
close to Mi Kai, and quietly told her to take Fang Yuan away before Yunmo dragged into trouble at Qingbei. They left after Liu Ruyan explained to the crowd that Feng Yuan was Yunmo's future brother-in-law and mentally unstable, often jealous of Yunmo's closeness to his sister. With a few sentences, she broke the rumor. Then she pulled Yunmo into campus. Yunmo thanked her, but Liu Ruyan was still furious. She scolded him for letting people hit him and for having such terrible taste before. Then she suddenly asked, since that past was over, would he consider dating her? Before Yunmo could respond, complicated voice interrupted them. Heard
He
that
had
Yunmo
was
was
being
being slandered at the school gate and rushed out of the dorm only to
See Yunmo and
Liu Ruyan standing close, like
looking
they
almost
liked each other. Yunmo hurried to explain, remembering Zhao Moxing had just said he wanted to pursue Liu Ruyan, but Liu Ruyan asked why Yunmo needed to explain anything to him. Zhao Moxing stepped forward and said plainly that he liked Liu and
Ruyan.
wanted to date her. Yunmo immediately felt Liu Ruyan's gaze pierce through him. Before things became even more awkward, a student arrived and said the teacher wanted Yunmo at the administrative office because of the incident at the gate. Liu Ruyan and Zhao Moxing both insisted on going with him. Yunmo went inside alone while they waited outside. Zhao Moxing asked if Liu Ruyan liked Yunmo. She nodded. Zhao Moxing said Yunmo did not seem to like her that way. Liu Ruyan admitted that might be true now, but she had confidence in the future. Then Zhao Moxing questioned whether her powerful family would allow her to marry an ordinary boy. Liu Ruyan realized his interest her was not pure romance, but family background even. So she told him new era allowed to
people
refuse
arranged expectations
and that her family would respect her choice. After Yunmo finished explaining everything
the
to
school, he
decided to write a complaint to
Southwest
University
Fang
against Ruyan supported
Liu.
him. Back in the dorm, Yunmo
Xiao
noticed
Musheng looked troubled.
it was
He
because
thought
what happened with Liu Ruyan. So he tried to explain, but
Xiao Musheng
interrupted and apologized, confessed that he wanted to pursue Liu Ruyan because of love, but because of her family status. His father was a general in the capital military district, and since childhood he had been controlled and taught that he must marry someone from a matching powerful family.
Getting
Qingbei was a small bit of freedom he had fought hard to win. Yunmo finally understood that behind Xiao Musheng's cheerful personality, he carried heavy pressure. Told
Yunmo
him that times had changed. People had the right to choose their own marriage, and life belonged to themselves. That was the painful lesson Yunmo had learned from his previous life. Xiao Musheng said that Liu Ruyan had told him something similar and then hugged Yunmo with tears in his voice. Later, he asked whether Yunmo really did not like Liu Ruyan. Yunmo said he had not thought about loving me after Kai for so many years, ending so miserably. He only wanted to study hard and build a brighter future. During the rest of the National Day holiday,
Xiao
Yunmo around the capital often joined them. Mi Kai and Fang Yuan not appear again. Did not know how Mi Kai dealt with Fang Yuan, and he no longer cared. After the holiday, to his daily life of studying in the library, Liu Ruyan came often, but this time Yunmo did not avoid the misunderstanding had already linked them and everyone's eyes. He tried tell Liu Ruyan that if the rumor troubled her, they could find a way to clear it up, but he could not finish. Liu Ruyan said she was the one who had acted on her own that day, and she was actually happy. Yunmo allowed her to stand by his side. Yunmo could see the affection in her eyes. He admitted he did not feel that way yet, but thanked her. Liu Ruyan smiled confidently and said she would keep trying. Half a month later, Yunmo was heading to the library when a dormmate told him that a woman in military uniform was waiting for him at the gate. Yunmo thought it was Mi Kai, but when he arrived, it was a strange female soldier. She said Mi Kai was in the hospital and had asked her to bring Yunmo there. Yunmo followed the soldier to Ding Hospital. He entered the ward. Mi Kai was lying on the bed with injuries on her back. She was delighted to see him, but when she moved, the pain made her. Yunmo noticed as if she had been beaten. Mi Kai held his hand and said no one would stop them from being together anymore. She had broken off her engagement with Fang and told their parents everything. They no longer opposed it. Yunmo was stunned. She said she had accepted all the consequences because she still had pain from her rejection, and she only wanted his forgiveness. Yunmo did not feel touched. Instead, he felt empty and sad. In his previous life, he had also fought for love in front of his parents only to be thrown out and ruined. Yet when Mikai did the same thing, the family seemed willing to let go. One had even asked what Yunmo wanted. Kai explained that after Fang Yuan was expelled for slandering Yunmo, his family caused a scene in Fengyang village. Kai revealed the truth, and Fang Yuan broke down, accusing her of using him to hide her feelings. She exposed own dirty secret and finally ended everything. After that, she told the Yun family that she wanted to be with Yunmo even if the world judged them. Yunmo listened quietly. Then he asked Mikai whether he could tell her a story. He described a boy who loved his adopted sister in a previous life, rejected, was failed the college entrance exam, got driven out, spent the rest of his life miserable and alone. That was only a story, Yunmo answered that it was softly, not a story. If he had lived it himself, then he pulled away and left the ward. Kai watched him go, heartbroken and unwilling to give up. She still believed Yunmo had loved her too deeply to truly stop. But Yunmo left the hospital and called home from a public phone. Father answered. Yunmo learned his mother had fallen ill after Mikai told them everything. Felt guilty, but he made his position clear. He said he truly only saw Mikai as his sister, and that was one major reason he had chosen Qingbei. His father finally understood that Yunmo and Mikai were not thinking the same thing. Yunmo asked his parents to take care of themselves and promised to return during the new year. When Yunmo reached the dorm that evening, Liu Ruyan was waiting anxiously downstairs. She had worried all afternoon, apologized, and said he had gone to the hospital because his sister was hurt. Liu Ruyan's mood darkened when she heard the Mikai would stay in the capital military district a year. Yunmo did not know how to respond, so he promised that in the future he would tell her before going somewhere. Ruyan's eyes immediately brightened. She told him she would be at the library the next afternoon and said he would come after class. Dorm, Xiang Mesheng's bed was empty. The others said he had gone home after class. Yunmo assumed had happened at home and did not think too much about it that night. While Yunmo slept peacefully, Mikai dreamed of the previous life. She dreamed that Yunmo confessed she rejected him and he failed the exam. She dreamed his confession spread everywhere. His mother fell ill and he was driven from home. She waited year after year, but he never returned. Mother died with regret, and Kai finally realized her feelings too late. Dream was so real that she woke in terror. Words echoed her mind. What if that was his own experience? Then memories that did not belong to this life crashed into her head. She finally understood Yunmo had truly lived two lives, and the tragedy of the last one was connected to her, was
that
why
he
had pulled away from her so firmly. The next day, Yunmo went to
class did
but
not
still
see Xiao Musheng.
the semester
Since
began.
Xiao Musheng had
Never skipped class,
so Yunmo began
to worry.
At
Noon, he checked the dorm, but
Xiao Musheng
not returned.
in the library.
Even
Yunmo could not
focus.
Liu
Noticed
Ruyan
his book had not
a
turned
page
for a
long time,
and asked
what he was thinking
about. Told
Yunmo.
her he was worried about.
Xiao Musheng
Just then, two girls nearby whispered
about a
poor male
student whose
father wanted him to
withdraw from Qingbei and go home to marry.
They mentioned the name.
Musheng
Immediately
up
stood
and
asked where
he was.
the girls
Said he
was probably
near the administrative office.
Yunmo ran out and
Liu Ruyan
grabbed his books
and
followed.
as they passed
The gate
Liu Ruyan suddenly pulled him back and pointed outside. Xiao Mensheng was being dragged into a car by a tall man.
shouted,
but
the car
drove away. His heart sank. He asked Liu Ruyan whether he would ever see Xiao Musheng again. Had no answer. Yunmo decided to find the teacher and get Xiao Mensheng's home address.
real
Liu
knew
it might be risky,
but
seeing Yunmo's determination, she chose to go with him.
they went to
Xiao Musheng's family,
courtyard.
woman who
A
looked like
middle-aged
Xiao Musheng, opened the door
cautiously could
before
explain
Yunmo.
Xiao
Mensheng's stubborn
came from
voice,
inside.
saying that
if
even
his father
beat him to death, he would still go back to school and
leave that suffocating.
home.
Rushed
His mother
inside
crying, and Yunmo and Liu Ruyan followed
in the room.
Xiao's father
Raising
was
cocaine.
at his son. Yunmo reacted without
Thinking and
forward
rushed
to block it. The
father stopped
just in time and
demanded to
know who he was. Yunmo introduced himself as Xiao Musheng's classmate. Father said Xiao Musheng would no longer have classmates because
he would
not return to school. Yunmo calmly
asked why.
from the
argument
understood
he
that Xiao's father wanted his son to
marry early
into a matching family, believing it was for his good. Yunmo
said
gently
that
marriage was but the
only
path, and that a person should first become independent and able to control own life. If Xiao Musheng could prove he could live well without depending on anyone, then whether he married or married into the right family would no longer matter so much. Xiao's father fell silent. Xiao Musheng quickly promised he would build a good future on his own. In the end, his father gave in. After they left the Xiao courtyard, Xiao Musheng hugged Yunmo and
him,
calling him
a lifelong friend.
But the movement
pulled his injury,
and he admitted he had been hit the day before. Yunmo suggested
going to the
hospital to treat it.
Ruyan
and
went
Liu
with
them, while the
nurse treated
Musheng,
Xiao.
Liu
pulled
Ruyan
Yunmo
and
aside
rushing
him.
under the cane looked innocent
Yunmo
and
said it was
just instinct. Liu
Ruyan was angry
because she had
been frightened,
but how obediently he promised not to do it
again.
Her
Softened.
heart. Then a familiar voice interrupted.
Still
Mikai,
nearby,
Yunmo
watching.
and Liu Ruyan together. Remembering
After
the
previous life,
she knew she number longer had the right to be jealous
asked
why
Yunmo was at the hospital, he said a friend was injured.
Mikai
Then asked
to speak
with him
about the
story he
told yesterday.
Yunmo wondered if she had remembered
Two outside
in the pavilion. Kai apologized.
She said
she remembered the past
life and
knew her
actions had
harmed him.
Yunmo's eyes
Reddened at
once
as
as all
the pain from that
life had
been waiting
for this
apology.
Kai called
Me herself his sister again
and
asked
whether he
could forgive
her and
stop avoiding her. Yunmo
smiled
agreed.
and
From now on, she would always be
his sister.
that peaceful scene
Was misunderstood by
Liu Ruyang
a distance.
she
Thought Yunmo had
chosen Mikai.
again
Her
anger
rose in
her chest.
and when
Yunmo walked over
Liu Ruyang asked
to speak with
him alone,
Kai watched
me
them go with a
bitter heart and
return to the
military district
a quiet
of the
corner.
hospital corridor. Liu
Could
Ruyang
no longer
hold back
asked
whether
she
Yunmo had gone back to his sister and whether he had forgotten the rumors at the school gate. Yunmo,
Finally,
she was
understood
upset why,
seeing the sadness
in her eyes,
he stopped teasing
her and
said she
had misunderstood.
he had
not chosen
Mikai.
They had only cleared
The past
and me. Kai would always be.
his sister
Liu Ruyang seemed to come back
to life.
at that moment. She realized clearly that she
Did not
want to
lose him.
She stepped
Closer and
confessed
asking
seriously
to give
her a
chance.
Yunmo
Remembered everything
they had
gone through
together.
He
Was afraid
because he
had loved
Mikai
for so
long and
received no
response.
Liu
But
Ruyang
had always been good to him. Maybe he
should hold
on to new
fate
with
red ears.
he nodded.
Liu Ruyang was so happy she
Almost could not speak.
She
Held
carefully
his hands and promised she
would treat him well.
When they returned to the treatment room,
Noticed
Xiao
something
Musheng
had
immediately
changed
in the
between
car, teased
he
Yunmo and guessed that
he had accepted Liu
confession.
Ruyang's.
Yunmo was
Finally
embarrassed
nodded
and said
Xiao
Liu Ruyang
Musheng
had
laughed. Finally seeing the clouds
and the
part.
moon
Even
appear.
asked her to
He
treat
everyone to
agreed
dinner.
happily.
Liu
Roommates
Ruyang
gathered
at a
there
state
near
run
Qingbei
restaurant. When everyone
what the
asked,
celebration was
Xiao
about.
Musheng pointed at Yunmo
And
blushed
Liu
under
Ruyang
the
secretly
table.
held
Liu
out
Ruyang
his
said they were
hand.
dating.
Their
Friends cheered, saying
a
they
perfect
were
match and must
invite everyone to the
someday,
wedding.
listening to their blessings.
Yunmo smiled.
Time
With
passed.
the day
Real
by day.
happiness arrived.
Xiao
One
Musheng's
day,
sister was
at
waiting
his that
again.
Liu
Muttered
Ruyang
that
immediately
soldiers who
seemed
have far too
much free
laughed
time
and said
would
he
go
Yunmo
see her.
Ruyang refused to
Stay behind
two of
so
them walked to
that
the gate together.